and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to In the Spotlight with Jill Nicolini on Business Talk Radio, where we take your business to the next level. And Tamaya Urban joins us here once again, better known as the Urban Healer. She is, well, gosh, so many things. She's an energy expert, a Reiki master, and I'll let her explain. Welcome back to the show today, darling. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure
Oh,
to be
thanks
here.
for being here. Great. Please introduce yourself to our viewers today.
All right. So, beautiful introduction. Thank you. My name is Tamara Urban, also known as the Urban Healer. I'm currently in Toronto, and here I have a Reiki business. I focus on helping people one-on-one in group settings as well as mentoring. I'm also an intuitive coach and a nurse on the side as well.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit about you. Let's go back a bit. And how did you get your start with the energy, with the Reiki? And I know obviously you've always been into helping people. So give us a little bit of your background to share if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So I always wanted to do something where I can help other people, but I wasn't really sure what to do. To be honest, I kind of fell into nursing. It wasn't actually planned. I was doing a research project and one thing led to another. And then next thing I know, I've been a nurse for 8.5 years. Unfortunately, I did get super burnt out because I didn't really feel like I was making a big difference in people's lives. I wanted to have more one-on-one time with people, and on a bedside nurse manner, there's no way you can do that. So I was super burnt out, and I actually sustained a really bad knee injury, and I was told that I won't be able to walk properly again. And I was kind of on the fence needing surgery. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to have surgery. And something within me just said, no, there's another way. You just have to find it. And I wish I was kidding. I'm not. I literally went to Google and I just typed in non-invasive healing and Reiki came up. And initially I was just like, what is that? I'm like, energy healing. Oh, I'm a science girl,
Yeah.
like I was like, I don't know if I trust this. So I was like, okay, no, I just have to. I have to surrender. I'm clearly in a complete bind and I have no other choice. So that's how Reiki, I guess, chose me, found me. And I essentially went from receiving Reiki to having this like divine download that I need to actually get certified and give Reiki to myself. And then that's kind of, I guess, emerged into a Reiki business over the years as I decided to get further certified. And here we are.
Wow. And there's a lot of people out there like yourself. What is Reiki, right? So people want to know if you could just break it down for us. What exactly is this energy healing modality called Reiki?
Absolutely. So, Reiki is just this form of energy healing. Everything around us, whether it's within us or whether it's an object, everything has energy. And when you're getting Reiki, you're connecting to life force energy. And essentially, it's just this energy above you from, you can call it source, from the universe, God, depending on what you believe in. And essentially, the Reiki practitioner is allowing this energy to flow through them to the person. And it just allows anything that feels stuck or stagnant, heaviness, if you're feeling like anxious or even physical pain, it allows all that extra energy that's not serving you to be gently released, creating space for energy that does serve you. So then once you have, I guess, more space and like a little more lightness, you have more clarity and you're also calmer so you can make proper decisions and you just feel better in your body as you find more balance.
Now, if this is something that you do in person and you could do it virtually, like let's say here right now over Zoom.
Totally. So the thing that's really amazing with Reiki is that because it's energy, energy is everywhere and energy has no bounds in terms of space and time. So what's fantastic and like super exciting is that you can send it virtually. And essentially the way I explain it is Reiki is like a prayer or a blessing. And if I'm right in front of you, giving you a prayer or a blessing, it makes no difference compared to if I was on the other side of the world, right? So
Absolutely.
prayer doesn't work better if you're closer.
Yeah.
And
That's a great way to look at it. I've never had it explained to me that way before, but thank you for that.
Absolutely. And like, I have to be honest, because initially I was like, does virtual Reiki work? Does it though? And like, I like to be very real about my story. And I was like, I don't know. And it absolutely does. And to be honest, it almost works better because the person didn't have to like get in the car, get stuck in traffic, park, you're in like a different space and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to like lie down and close my eyes here,
Wow.
but you're in your own home. And then everyone has this kind of like post Reiki bliss. And you also don't have to interact with the outside world to ruin your bubble. You get to stay at home and just kind of absorb and like really reflect on what came up. So really virtual Reiki, I much prefer it.
And
Now,
it's just as good as doing Reiki.
absolutely.
Correct. There's no difference between the two.
No, not at
Perfect.
all. Yeah. So
Wonderful.
anyone out
Good to
there,
know.
you can access me regardless where you are.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about the science behind Reiki and, you know, where it's
Absolutely.
from, how did it originate? And yeah, give us all the details.
Okay, absolutely. So Reiki originated in Japan, and that was something that was always like a hands off. It was definitely more conservative compared to when it came to the Western world. But essentially, in terms of like the science behind it, when you're allowing yourself to relax and just settle and be open to receiving, energy is able to move within your body. And when your body feels safe enough to do that, you tap into your parasympathetic nervous system. So there's two different versions of your nervous system. One is the go, 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 rush, 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 the one we live in all the time.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I feel that. So
Yeah.
that's the sympathetic nervous system. And then there's the parasympathetic nervous system. You need both to function, but you also need a balance of the two. So you can't always be like adrenaline, cortisol, stress, go. It's like your body is ready to fight. Your body feels attacked. There's inflammation, and it's a really harsh environment to always be in, which unfortunately we do spend a lot of our time in. The other side of that is the parasympathetic nervous system. And this is where you feel relaxed. This is like the rest, heal, digest, calm state. With
Mhm.
Reiki, you're allowing yourself to release all that extra energy that might feel like anxiety or any heaviness that you're carrying. And your body feels literally held and nurtured. So it can do the exhale, and it's able to really tap into that. And when you feel safe to do that, that's when your body's able to truly heal and replenish itself.
Got
So
it.
Reiki always taps into your innate healing, and then it just allows it to do what it's meant to do. And that's what's really awesome as a Reiki practitioner, because I literally just channel. I don't even need to know anything about
Now,
the other person.
and you can feel, isn't there like 7 chakras, you call them, in the body? Could you explain that a little bit and how
Yeah, sure.
Reiki goes to each of those areas?
Would love to. So, first things first, the 7 chakras are the 7 main this energy wheels that are spinning within your body. Each of them have to do with something different. So, like your root chakra has to do with like feeling safe, being grounded, has to do with your finances, has to do with survival and kind of like the basic needs. And then the very top one, the 7th chakra, is at the crown of your head, and that has to do with like being one with the universe, feeling super enlightened, and having that like super awakened state where you feel one with everything around you. So most people think Reiki and chakras are the same thing. They kind of aren't. So with the chakras, it more has to do with like yoga and kind of like that sort of tradition.
Okay.
But that being said, Reiki works really well with the chakras just because those are energy wheels, and with Reiki, you're moving energy. So I
Wow.
do teach about the chakras in my certification courses, but I'm just very clear that like you don't have to talk about chakras if you don't want to, but it's a beautiful way of talking about it to people who might be newer to Reiki or newer to spirituality, because they're kind of just like, what do you mean energy? What do you mean you're moving things? I don't understand. But then say if you say like, oh, you know, your heart center, your heart chakra feels a little bit heavy. It's like, are you holding on to grief? Is there something you could release? Or like a lot of women have closed throat chakras because you're unfortunately raised as a child being like, shh, you gotta be a good little girl. You can't say anything. You can't be loud. So we're taught to like, can't talk, don't say anything. And I'm like, no, hells no. Speak your truth, own your truth, speak louder. And that goes down to like your belly. So it's like, where's your purpose, your confidence, and that like inner fire of like what makes you feel passion? Like, what are you creating? What do you want to envision in your life? So
So
it's a good way of talking about it for people to understand.
Got it. So people out there listening, watching, wondering, hey, can this help me? What are some of the things that Reiki does help with? I mean, let's just talk quickly about the pandemic in this past year.
Totally.
Anxiety, depression, instability, people losing jobs. I mean, can it help with those sorts of things? And what other things can Reiki help with? I've heard it can help with chronic pain, even, and even disease. So give me a little bit of a
Absolutely.
rundown, breakdown. Thank
Absolutely. So, what's awesome is Reiki can help with absolutely anything. Awesome. It's not a cure all. So, that's the thing to remember, that you're not going to just get Reiki and then all of a sudden all your problems are gone. Trying to create that, but not fully yet.
you.
But it will help you in terms of just releasing extra energy. So, like I mentioned with anxiety, anxiety is usually like a lot of like bubbling and like extra energy in your chest, or maybe it's in your gut, that
Got it.
uneasiness,
Yeah.
right? And then when I'm giving Reiki to somebody, they will physically twitch, or they'll physically, like, their hand will kind of like let go of some energy and be like, oh my God, I just felt something like moving through me. And you
Yep.
can literally feel that energy leaving. Then with depression, and I've suffered from depression, like heavy, heavy depression. So I totally understand. That is kind of like this super heavy energy where you feel weighed down. You're tired. You don't really want to do anything, and it's like you're fixated on the past, and you're like
Yeah.
reminiscing on like, this didn't go right, I shouldn't have done this, I can't believe that happened, and then you're like repeating all the worst case scenarios that you've lived through and making them almost worse. So with that, Reiki is able to just bring peace to that. And like, there's things that I didn't think I could ever forgive, and I have completely just like, when you're carrying on like baggage, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Let it
that
go.
sucked. That was a really
Wow.
crappy situation. I can't believe that happened to me. And I honor my experience. And I'm also going to forgive you, because at the end of the day, that happened and it's done. And if I choose to relive it, I choose to carry it forward, and I'm choosing to not do that. And Reiki can give you that peace where you can forgive it, you can let it go. And again, it's move energy that's not serving you. That energy does not serve you. It's done. And you're
Oh,
creating space for you to move forward in. So that's a huge, huge, huge benefit. In terms of pain, like you mentioned, um, it's been really beautiful to watch in the last couple years how Reiki has been brought into the hospital system, at least for
yeah.
us in Canada, where
Oh,
especially,
same here in New York
yeah,
City, all major hospitals. If you go to the website, like when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, you go to the website, you look at treatment options.
yep,
Reiki is listed as one of those modalities. So it's
yeah,
something to be said. And it's great that the medical community is really, acknowledging this now, because it
yes,
didn't back in the day, but it's
no.
becoming more, which means it's working clearly.
Absolutely. And again, it brings people that inner peace, and it allows them to be more open to receiving. So it's like they're going to respond to their treatment better, because they're also not in this like super high stress, like anxious mode, but they're more settled into the body's more calm. That being said, when your body moves out of that sympathetic nervous system mode and more into parasympathetic, you're going to reduce the inflammation, because when you have this like burst of stress in your body, you need that to survive. But that was something that was developed through evolution for like running away from a bear so you don't get eaten. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen anymore, right?
Yes.
Now you respond the same way when you get an email from your boss, and you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, you're not going to die. It's just an email, regardless of what it said, you're fine. But your body is not meant to constantly be hit with that stress. So with Reiki, it just allows you to go into like the settled calm state, so
Mhm.
you don't have that inflammation, because any sort of inflammatory hormones that are going through your body are going to actually aggravate whatever's happening. So it's like if you already have some sort of illness or sickness, it's going to be made worse because your body's not in the like self-healing, self-replenishing state, but it's in a go, 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 go. And that's not, I mean, calming or healing in any sort of a
Yeah.
way. So my grandma has really bad osteoarthritis, and I give her joints Reiki. I mean, hands on, because she's in my bubble and I can still touch her. Lucky
Yeah.
me. But
Mm.
it just gives you that, like, it releases that extra inflammation, and it like releases the extra energy that's not serving you. And it really allows you to find benefit in whatever treatments you're getting. So again, Reiki is not going to just solve all your problems, but it is going to help you get through it with ease. And that's like, I think what people are looking for. It's like, okay, I got to deal with this. This sucks. But rather than making it harder, make it easier so you can get through it easier. And that's kind of what's been happening with COVID. Like nothing's the same. Everything in life has changed.
Yeah.
And we don't do well with big change. We like
Oh
some
no,
sort of
yeah.
like a, do you know what I mean? So people are struggling more. And like I've seen it all. I mean, whether it's me being a nurse at the hospital or whether it's my clients and my friends, but it's just like we're living in this constant state of fear because we don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. We don't know what this pandemic is doing. We don't know if things are evolving. And then, of course, your body is going to go into the, oh my God, I do need to flee, fight. I need to respond. I need to be stressed. I need to be in like high alert. And again, Reiki is just like, no, you know what? Right now, you're okay. Right
Okay.
now, you are safe. And tomorrow hasn't happened. So let's just deal with that tomorrow. But right now, focus on you, healing yourself, and just doing the best you can.
Great. And at this time, Samaya, we're going to take a very quick commercial break. Give us your best form and all forms of contact, website, email, social media, whatever you'd like to share.
Absolutely. So my website is www.theurbanhealer.ca, CA because I'm in Canada. You can email me at hello@theurbanhealer.ca. And on Instagram, I am the.urban.healer.
Perfect. Stand by. I'll be right back with more.
Are you a caregiver or aging adult with questions about caregiving, how to stay at home, hiring caregivers, choosing a care community, power of attorney? Help you can trust is here. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Visit caregiver-911.com to receive free caregiving tips, access to my caregiving library, a mini video series, and a copy of my book, The Caregiving Trap. Visit caregiver-911.com today for information you can trust.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to In the Spotlight with Jill Nicolini on Business Talk Radio, where we take your business to the next level. And welcome back to the show. Tamaya Urban here joins us once again, the Urban Healer. Please introduce yourself again to our listeners today.
Hello, hello. My name is Tamara Urban, the Urban Healer, and I'm so happy to be here. If you want to contact me, it's www.theurbanhealer.ca or Instagram, the.urban.healer.
Beautiful. Well, I know we're talking about you as a Reiki master and that modality of healing. Could you explain to someone how it really works, how long a session is, and what can they expect? Walk us through the process of actually doing a session with you.
Absolutely. So currently, just because of the state of the world, I'm not taking any in-person clients. My studio is actually in my home, and that's why I've reverted to being just virtual. But that's awesome because then, regardless where you are, you can access me. So in terms of what to expect, I do Reiki a little bit differently, perhaps from other people. My big thing is that I want you to feel completely safe and held the moment that you arrive, virtually or not. So the first thing that we always do is just do a quick check-in because I want to know how you're doing. Is there something you want to focus on? And that being said, a lot of people are like, I need Reiki. I don't know what Reiki is, but someone told me I need Reiki and I'm here. Perfect. Great way of starting. You don't need to exactly know what's going down. I also don't need to know your exact issues. So if you're feeling a little shy and you want to share, Reiki will know where to go. I just channel, so we're good. So I get people set up in their home. Webcam would be great because I would like to watch you breathing. I want to be able to see if you're starting to feel stressed or clenching or something's not looking right. You can be seated or lying down. I always recommend lying down so you don't do the head bob as you're going to this really relaxed state. I will guide you through a arrival grounding meditation. So I want to make sure your physical body feels safe and feels ready and can just relax and be completely open to receiving. I will guide you to set an intention, and I promise you, you will be able to set an intention because your body will speak to you. So whether you want to let something go, you want to call something in, or if you're just looking for some clarity, I got you. We'll set that intention and we'll send that out to kind of bless our session. And then I give you Reiki. I do that in silence just so I can channel uninterruptedly. And then I will very gently and calmly wake you back up. I've never lost somebody. Sometimes I'm worried that people will fall asleep when they're gone, but I've never lost somebody, so I've gotten them back.
Okay.
And afterwards, the thing that I do that's a little bit different is that I always leave space for you to share your experience. It's one thing if you do some like deep healing. And I mean, even if you've had like a powerful yoga class and all of a sudden you're like, namaste, see ya. I don't want you to have to do that on your
Yep.
own. So
Mhm.
I want to hold space for you and I want to be able to talk to you in terms of what came up. And I've heard and seen it all, one through nursing and two,
Of
just being a
course.
healer. So I'm
Yep.
like, there's nothing you can say that's going to shock me. So please hit me up and tell me. Not everyone has someone to speak to, especially when it comes to like spiritual things. I know a lot of people are in the like kind of like the spiritual closet, slowly on their way out, and they don't really want to tell their partner, like, oh my God, I saw an angel. Like, I get that. I get that. That was me too. So I just
Yeah.
want to be able to like listen, and anything you say, I'm holding space for that. And then when the person's done talking, I always share what came up for me. I will give you some divine homework. I'm sorry, not sorry. I usually channel something to do with maybe you should focus on this, maybe you should journal on that. And I always get some sort of a message to share with the person. So then they have some food for thought to kind of focus on. And then Zoom calls done, you can enjoy reflecting on what came up for you, drink some water, practice some self care, and you're done.
Now, how often do people receive Reiki, or how often should they?
So I don't like to give that answer in terms of an actual answer. You know when you need Reiki. You know when it's time. I also don't want to take advantage of being in that authority where I'm going to tell you to come every week. I would never ever do that. You need to trust your body. You need to trust your soul, and you know when you need it. And I mean, I have a beautiful business, and people keep coming back, so I guess that works. But that being said, my sessions. I used to have 60-minute sessions, but since the pandemic, people are craving that one-on-one attention. And like as much as I like want to kind of move it along faster, like it's just not possible. And I don't want to rush it. And I also don't want to take away from the debrief time because
Yeah,
like people have things to talk about.
of
So
course.
now I do minimum 90-minute sessions and it goes by very quick. So I'm like, oh, do I need to do a 2-hour session? Maybe. We'll see.
Got it. All right, great. And so, why did you begin your business? Would you mind just giving us a little more insight into that?
Absolutely. So I was not in a good place when I found Reiki, and I didn't think I needed it. I knew that there was a lot of things that I was avoiding in my life, and I was absolutely hurting and like a hot mess, to be honest. So I had my knee injury. I actually just called off a wedding. I was so burnt out from nursing. At that point, I was a neurosurgical trauma nurse, and it was awful. Like the things I've witnessed, you can't unwitness. And I was just not happy. And really, I'm so grateful for that knee injury because it literally brought me to my knees in terms of begging for guidance. And that's how Reiki came into my life. And Reiki has changed everything. I still sometimes get anxiety. I still have days that are super low and dark. I'm still human, but I'm able to bounce back. And I'm also able to take that whatever comes into my life with a grain of salt and a different perspective, where I've taken my power back to be my own healer. And it's it just felt like it was my duty and something I should do in terms of sharing this with other people because I've seen so many other people, especially women, struggle. And then I'm like, stop giving your power away. Stop
Eh,
waiting for someone to
yeah.
save you. Stop doing that. I'm just like, it's within you. And if you need guidance, it's like, ask the universe. Like, she's got you. In my mind, it's the she, by the way.
I got it.
Just thrown out there. Obviously, it's a woman. But that being said, like, it was something that was so unique and special and sacred that I was like, I really want to share this with more people. And it first began with just having one on one sessions with clients, and then it turned into group settings. And then it turned into I'm offering the certifications. Now I offer all of them. So level 1 to master. And I've created a mentorship program as well. And yes, I still have male clients and I have certified men as well. So please don't take offense. But I feel more aligned to work with women and really allowing women to be completely empowered for them to shed their past, like trauma and pain and shame and all that stuff
Yeah.
that we carry along,
Hmm.
and then find peace and rise above it. Like, let that be what fuels you. Let that be what is your purpose. And like, 100%. I found my passion in my pain and in my darkest times. And I
Oh,
want women to be able to do that, you know?
and I was just going to ask what keeps you going, which is
There
kind
you
of
go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one, self-care. Because
Yes, that's essential.
yeah, I'm like, it is absolutely a must. And it is hard, I feel like, as women, given all the hats that we wear, to give ourselves permission to do that. But like, you would never like yell at your phone if it's not charged and why it's not working. And you would also not yell at your car if it doesn't have gas. But then you get mad at yourself that you can't keep going like a robot. Come on. And I learned this the hard way, and I still sometimes need a reminder, but it's honoring the process and just the way like the seasons have winter to summer, you need to honor slowness sometimes. And that's like the big thing that I recharge my batteries. And the other thing is that one, I love what I do. Like Reiki does not feel like work, that's for sure. But I just feel like it's my absolute purpose to empower other women to rise above all the crap they've been through and then turn it into a business if they want. So it's like, why not help others and then
Yeah.
make money in a way that is so divine and so sacred and like you're doing good. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what keeps me going.
Great. Well, in closing today, I want to find out what you offer and how we can get in touch with you, please.
Absolutely. So you can have one-on-one sessions with me, whether it's over Zoom or remotely. I also offer group setting sessions. Some of them are free. So if you check out my Instagram, everything's there. So it's at the period urban period healer. I also have monthly webinars. So last month I focused on self-care. This month it's on self-compassion and how that is so important for us to tap into. I also offer certifications, level 1, level 2, master, and a mentorship program. And one of the things that is unique for this month is I'm doing a Valentine's Day self-love retreat with my incredible business partner, Kate Fowley. And all the information is on my Instagram or my website, theurbanhealer.ca, or email me
Beautiful.
hello@theurbanhealer.ca.
And is
There
that,
you
is
go.
that your dog? You see?
Yes, my little babe, my little angel.
I love it. So the .urban.healer. Obviously, I follow you. But thank you so much for your time today. And again, I hope everyone reaches out to you. Again, Reiki master, mentor. She's here to help you, guide her. And again, the.urban.healer on Instagram. And one more time, your phone number or website.
My website, www.theurbanhealer.ca, because I'm in Canada.
Beautiful. Hey, Urban, pleasure speaking with you here again. And
Thank
looking
you.
forward to our next conversation. You have a great day, okay?
Me too. Thank you, Jill. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. Everyone else, stay tuned. More of the show is coming right up after the break.